Good day, everyone. I'm Contessa Brewer. As the first Guantanamo detainees arraigned in a New York federal court, the political sparring's heating up between GOP lawmakers and the Obama administration. Ahmed Ghailani pled not guilty yesterday to participating in the bombings of the embassies in Tanzania and Kenya in 1998. The U.S. categorized Ghailani as a high-value detainee after he was captured in 2004, and they put him in Guantanamo Bay. Republican New York Congressman Peter King is outspoken. He doesn't want the detainees here in the United States. He joins me now on the phone. Let me ask you, we've been talking, Congressman, about this new plan potentially to send 17 detainees to Palau, and there's the report that we would pay them something in the neighborhood of $200 million as aid. I did some checking. It looks like it would be 84% cheaper to try them and keep them at a very expensive supermax prison here in the United States. What's your problem with that?
Are you talking about these are the 17 Uighurs we're talking about? First of all, the problem with that is that both the Bush administration and the Obama administration have decided that the Uighurs should be released, that because they are not a threat to the United States. I happen to think they might be, but it was first they wanted to put them into Northern Virginia, actually release them into the population. And so I guess this is the best compromise they can come up with. We can't send them back to China because the Chinese will persecute them. And the government, our government, has made the decision that they are not a threat to us. But on the other hand, to turn them loose in the United States, because remember, they have been trained by al-Qaeda and they could carry out violent acts. So I guess the Obama administration...
Okay, so they haven't done anything wrong that we could try them for and keep them in prisons, and it's been determined that they should be released. Other detainees at Guantanamo Bay have not been offered any sort of legal procedures at this point. Perhaps they're in the same boat.
Well, the Uighurs are different because these were Chinese Muslims who were being trained by al-Qaeda, and they were not trained to fight the United States. They were trained to basically fight the Chinese.
But I'm saying, don't you think, Congressman King, my point is, don't you think if there were people being kept at Guantanamo Bay and they have not been given access to a legal procedure to determine their guilt or innocence, that they could be in the same boat? Don't we have a responsibility to the people that we've imprisoned for years?
Well, our first responsibility is to protect the people of the United States. But as far as the people who are in Guantanamo, President Bush did have the tribunal system, which was fought by groups like the Civil Liberties Union. If the Civil Liberties Union had not brought these lawsuits, we would have had most of these cases resolved by now through the military tribunals. Now, President Obama also wants to go ahead with the tribunals. He's changing some of the rules of evidence, and hopefully that will facilitate it. But my concern is we're going to have more lawsuits brought to slow this process down. Now, we have released over 500 already. We're down to the bottom 240. And so that's the concern that I have. These 240, many of them are really bad. President Obama himself has said that there's a significant number, I've heard between 50 and 75, who cannot be convicted in American courts, but are a real threat to the United States, and he wants to find a way to keep them in prison, to keep them detained somehow. And that's going to be his main problem as he goes forward.
Congressman King, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Contessa. Bye.
It's a busy day in Washington.